Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Moose and we are going to be replaying and shoutcasting one of the Aegis Guardians League matchups for the Week 1 series between Team Ambition Gambit and Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby. Again, my name is Moose. Should be another fun and exciting series. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Over on the blue side, you've got Team Ambition Gambit. They are going to be played by Yowie playing as the Aurelia, Coxie as the Gragas, carried by Jungler playing as the Anivia, Zevin Rux I'm going to go for, playing as the Jinx, and then Adam playing as the Thresh. Meanwhile, over on red side, that's Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby, Bob Diff as the Camille, Ender for Hegemon, going to be playing as the Trundle, Isolide as the Yone, Swain going to be piloted by Deathcrow, and then Hold My Poodle as Leona. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Excited to see what Swain bot is going to do here. We do get an AD mid as the Yone could definitely put in a lot of work if he's able to get fed and carried. Potentially by his jungler, maybe some early ganks from Ender for Hegemon. The Anivia is rather scared of early ganks, at least until she's getting that crystal ice wall and is able to potentially defend herself against the rather unslippery Trundle that's not going to really have too much to say about an ice wall in his face, other than maybe a flash to go over it, but I don't expect that to happen. I'm excited to see if that is going to be played out in that way, though. And if you guys are enjoying the content here today, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow me on Twitter so you guys can see more of the casting work that I do here for League of Legends, doing solo queue casts as well as tournament play as well. So definitely check that out if you guys are enjoying what you guys are seeing here today. But for the most part, we get to see now what Aurelia is going to be doing, piloted by Yowie. Aurelia does have that carry factor, along with Isolode, playing as that Yone. So they have those opportunities to really put in that 80 damage as we move into the mid game and put in that power. I'm excited to see what the Nivea is going to be able to do against the Yone. I'm also excited to see what the Camille is going to be able to do up against the Aurelia. So we've got some interesting dynamics in these solo lanes, and I really feel the outcome of this matchup is going to be determined by which of these two solo lanes has the advantage and is able to get out of the laning phase in a better position. Obviously, if the Aurelia is in a good position, then she's going to be really tough to be able to play against. The Yone is not going to be super effective against her, going to get stunned out, going to be able to have some issues against the Vanguard as well. So definitely some concerns in that regard. But then on the other end, if the Yone is able to get fed early on, that's going to be a really tough position for the side of Gambit to try to go up against. But nice route there coming in from the Chompers. Going to be able to get some more damage over to the side of the Leona and the Swain. Keep in mind that this is Game 2. Team Ambition Gambit was able to win Game 1. A nice death sentence followed in by the Flay there onto Deathcrow. Going to get ignited. Adam's going to have to flash away because he is fairly low. And the Dark Passage is going to be used to go for the disengage. So a nice trade in terms of both teams. A lot of summoner spells getting used. But it's mid lane that actually is going to be the play. First Blood going to go to carried by Jungler. Doesn't even use Flash. Is going to be able to, or it does use Flash, but doesn't lose the revive. So a nice first blood there. 400 gold going to go over to the Anivia, and that is definitely something that they want to see. Meanwhile, Gragas in the jungle can be effective. Those ganks are relatively scary if he is able to find the Flash into the body slam. Other than that, until he hits level 6 and gets that explosive cast, it's going to be a little bit of a different story in terms of what he's able to bring to the table until that point. But he is looking to go for a play top side. Coxie going to try to go in for the kill against Bob Diff, maybe, but he will be able to hookshot away. And will be able to find himself back under control and should be okay there. Bob Div gonna get the hook shot into the stun, but the Gragas should be okay. First Drake spawning in a couple of seconds. It is a Cloud Drake. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, the Cloud Drake first is definitely a good sign for both of these teams. If you are able to get Cloud, if you are able to get Dragon stacking going. Right now, we do have priority on the side of Team Ambition Gambit. They could potentially go in for some vision here, go and get some warding down. They know that Ender for Hegemon is topside. They also know that Coxie is topside as well as the Gragas, so there's really no way for them to go for the jungle. Instead, they're going to back off. They're going to be able to get a nice reset, and so they will be prepared at the end of this to go for a play against that dragon should they desire. The Jinx has Cleanse to be able to get away from either the potential root from the Swain or even the stun combo from the Leona, so definitely something that they can consider in terms of having that extra little bit of protection for the Jinx as well as the Flash. So should be feeling good there. If you are Team Ambition Gambit, you want to see your Jinx have that potential protection with the Flash and the Cleanse. On top of that, he's also got the Lantern as well. So Rux is going to have some pretty solid protection so far. And remember, this is a team. Team Ambition Gambit is going to be one of the two teams playing in Week 2 live. Cursive and I will be casting that game for Team Ambition Gambit in Week 2, so it should be pretty fun to see how that one ends up playing out if Team Ambition Gambit is able to pick up another series win. Anyway, Adam now looking to go in for something is going to be ganked upon. Adam is in trouble. There's no way that he's getting out of this one. A lot of damage getting taken. Rux is going to go in for a little harass, but it won't really matter. It's going to be Kill going over to hold my Poodle. And that's something that we want to see, I think, gold players do a little bit better in. Like, they knew that Adam was dead. Flash was used in the earlier exchange, so he wasn't going to have that available to escape. Give your kill over to the Trundle or the kill over to the Swain. But Hold My Poodle goes for the Ignite, and that ends up resulting in a missed opportunity there. 300 gold on your support is not going to get as much mileage as 300 gold on your APC, or even 300 gold on your jungler. So a little bit of mismanagement there with summoner spells and kills. And so, yeah, I mean, yes, 300 gold is good, but it could be better. It could have been allocated to a different part of the map rather than your support. Because, I mean, what does that really give Hold My Poodle? It gives him a early boots, which has some effect here at the earlier stages of the game, but really isn't as valuable as, say, the extra longsword that Hegemon was able to get potentially if he wants to go for his Divine Sunderer, or maybe even the extra little bit of gold to go towards that amplifying tome for Deathcrow on the Swain. So missed opportunities for sure. Like I'm seeing, though, Bob Diff checking to see if these neutral camps had been taken. He was full HP. He also has the hookshot to be able to get away. So knows that Coxie is going to maybe try to go for the play topside in terms of neutral camps. And with the backs coming through, they are going to be able to also pick up the first dragon of the game. That's going to go towards Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby. So really solid position so far for them. A little bit behind in gold. Unfortunately, I mean, these roams from Bob Diff have given them some vision. They get some information where the Gragas is at, which is going to keep the Camille safe. But he is behind by a massive amount of CS. That is a 30 CS advantage for Yowie, which really is impactful in the early game. That's going to be an extra, 500-600 gold in the Aurelia's pocket. And yeah, about 600 gold advantage here for the Aurelia right now is pretty massive. Going to be another wave crashing in as well, so going to see how well Bob is going to be able to handle CSing under turret. Going to just go in for some trading, though. Not necessarily, I think, advised, since there is a wave coming in and all those minions are, putting in some damage against the Camille. So going to be able to see the Aurelia walk away. Doesn't have too much concern about dying in that scenario, so she'll be able to go back. I think gets the back that she wants. Let's see what she's able to come with. Didn't use teleport last time. Able to pick up the full recurve bow as well as a ward. Always like to see wards getting picked up by every player on the Rift, including the mid lane, including the jungler. Nicely done there, and a nice root. Zenith Blade's going to land, but the Dark Passage make sure that Rux is able to survive. Bro's going to use ultimate, though, so gonna maybe try to go and make this happen. Nice death sentence from Adam. Is gonna deny even more damage onto the Jinx. Jinx will have to eventually flash away, but that is all summoner spells used by Darth Crow. Rux will also use his flash and his cleanse to be able to get away from the play, but will not fall. So all in all, it's an even play there. Unfortunately, the Jinx will have to go back, so some early tower plates will go in favor of Ruby. That'll get them into an even game gold-wise when they drop. So good play there. Adam actually in trouble. Hold my poodle, though. He's the one in trouble and will fall. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not a good play there, resulting in a pretty massive misplay. And now we get another gank. Isolite's going to be really low HP, going to stay in that soul unbound pretty long there. And Hedgemon will pick up the kill against Coxie. The Ice Wall is going to be able to keep carried by jungler alive for the time being, but Flash was used. Yui will come in for the hover because he does have his lane pushed forward and will be fine. Adam will die in the bot lane, but not before Dark Crow falls. And that's going to be another kill, this time over to Rux, in favor of Team Ambition Gambit, who have now evened up the kill score and even up the gold advantage. No team in the lead gold-wise right now, and we've got pretty interesting scaling on both sides of the rift. So this game continues to stay neutral, continues to stay even, with the slight Cloud Drake advantage going towards Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby, excuse me. I've been trying to figure out, maybe if I should just use the directed camera a little bit more. They do tends to be, solid, and sometimes my observer skills aren't the best. Why I appreciate the observers in the tournament queue so much is because it means that I don't have to worry about going in to these games and trying to figure out, where I need to be, along with trying to make sure that I have the right position with my camera. I love having the observer there helping us out, making sure that we know where we're at all times. And so really appreciating what the observers do, especially in these tournament leagues. So really, yeah, again, like I said, really appreciating what they're able to do for me. So far, though, I mean, the CS advantage is still pretty substantial for Yui, as the Aurelia, up by about 25 CS right now, is going to be able to move forward once again, and this time the wave is over on their side, so could potentially push that up and go for a play mid here. See and keep an eye on what Yui does as he pushes forward. He's going to freeze the wave, actually, so instead just waiting to maybe deny even more CS for Bob Diff, who is looking to go for that Divine Sunder. Has the components, but just hasn't yet built the actual item yet. Looking to see what they're able to do with that. 27 seconds remaining until the Hextech Drake comes through. River advantage is towards Gaming Ruby, but the Rift Herald was taken by Coxie a little while back. He's going to drop it mid lane, which could give them even more mid priority. And if Hedgemon has to stay in the mid lane to be able to take care of this, otherwise it could be potentially a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, Hextech Ultimatum is going to get used. Yoi's in trouble and will die. He should have just gone for the play there against the Camille and instead just gives up the kill. Turret plating going to fall, going to be able to just get the headbutt and a little bit of damage onto the mid lane tower. The dragon is going to be initiated by Ruby, and Isolite is going to come in to make it a 4v2, 4v3 situation with the clearing still coming through from Rux. There's really no way, and not really a wise move, I think, to go in for this dragon. Wow! Gonna get stolen away by the Super Mega Death Rocket. Rux coming in with a nice play there, evening out the dragon and allowing no dragon stacking so far for the side of Ruby. But Gambit is going to lose someone in the play. It's going to be a kill, however, for a kill. Rux will fall, but not before Hedgemon falling as well. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Dragon gonna go over to the side of Team Ambition Gambit, which, given the gold that you get from it, and the fact that you're able to pick up Kraken Slayer as well for Rux is pretty substantial. So I'd say it's a fairly even play there on both sides. Unfortunately, again, it does lead to a little bit of a gold advantage because you do get just the pure gold over to Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby. That is a mouthful. Crystal Cave, gotta hand it to you there. Definitely messing me up, but I'll survive. I'll figure it out before the end of the split for sure. I'll know what to do. It'll be fine. I understand. As we approach the mid game, now we can start to see what these teleports are going to be able to do here. We've got a teleport advantage for Team Ambition Gambit. They have the opportunity to use that to go for a play, maybe bot side to clear out this tower, maybe even try to push forward mid wave. I've been trying to learn a little bit more about League of Legends and trying to be able to increase my awareness of certain objectives and certain things that are going on in the game. There's still a lot that I need to learn, but it's uplifting. You know, it's uplifting to know that I have growth here as a shoutcaster, and there's ways that I can make my shoutcasting better by being well informed, and that's something that is really, really exciting to think about. I have that opportunity. Adam and Rux are going to be in trouble, though. Hegemon's coming in for the gank. Teleport's going to get used by... carried by Jungler coming in. Adam is going to fall, but will they be able to get out of this? Darth Crow going to come in. The Super Mega Death Rocket is not going to land. Carried by Jungler is going to flash and will end up getting the golden hourglass used by Darth Crow, who will fall. Going to give the bounty over to the Anivia, who's now really in control of this game. 3-0-1. Has the Luden's Echo, almost a fully stacked tier as well. So a nice teleport going to get paid in dividends as well, as Coxie comes in to help finish the job. 2 kills for 1 in favor of Team Ambition Gambit. The gold is looking really good now for this Anivia, who's up by 1,000 against Icelide in the mid lane as the Yone, and a fed Anivia scales so well into the mid game. Just the extra slow, the extra damage that she's able to bring to the table is going to be really, really strong. And on top of that, if you're able to land the slow, you can potentially put a lot of effort into it if you're able to then get the Vanguard's Edge from the Aurelia. Explosive Cask is going to be able to put in work as well to go for the displacement into the guaranteed slow if it hits the Vanguard's Edge. So you have a lot of control in these team fights with the Anivia, with the Aurelia, and I want to see what they're able to do with it. Rift Herald, the next neutral objective online. Couple of wards coming through mid lane, but not really too deep. Meanwhile, Yoi's going to be in trouble. Dark Passage will be used to be able to get away. The death sentence does not land, and Yoi is going to be able to use the Vanguard's Edge and get out of it, which ends up turning the play around for Team Ambition Gambit so far. Bob Diff's going to use Hextech Ultimatum, but Yoi is just too strong. And the egg will get popped. Carried by Jungler is going to be in trouble, but should be able to survive this. Does get out. Explosive Cask will get used into the root. Adam will use the death sentence, and that's a kill for Team Ambition Gambit. 3-0 in favor of blue side. Gonna be a kill for Rux, a kill for Yoi. Or not a kill for Yoi, a kill for Coxie, and also a kill for Adam. So resulting in some gold distribution there. Obviously, you want to see that gold go over to the side of, say, your Anivia, or all of it over to your Jinx. But you take that advantage, you take that play, and you take the gold lead now, up by about 3K. Next dragon spawning in 30 seconds. I mean, taking a look at this comp, you've got Anivia, Thresh, and the Gragas. It's really difficult for Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby to get to that backline because of how much frontline peeling that they have, and that you have innate peeling from carried by Jungler as the Anivia with the Ice Wall, with the Glacial Storm to be able to get those slows in and make it really difficult for Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby to get to that backline to stop the Jinx from being able to just wail on you. The advantage that they have is that if they are able to get to that backline, they have ways to lock down these carries. The Ice Pillar is going to be really effective then. The Hextech Ultimatum onto Rux or onto Yoi, or even onto carried by Jungler can be pretty effective as well. They just don't really have a lot of setup for that. They don't really have a lot of, I think, initiation enough to be able to get them into that play unless you're using Hold My Poodle and that Solar Flare. And in order to do that, you've got to be so far ahead to be able to get to this back line that Team Ambition Gambit have drafted that it could be really difficult for the Leona to get to that point. I want to see a team fight where it is successful, if they are able to get to that back line and then they're able to take care of them. But for now, we haven't yet seen it. Rux has been relatively safe. Carried by Jungler has been relatively safe. And I'm excited to see how the next couple of minutes play out. Rift Herald was taken by Team Ambition Gambit. Ruby was able to pick up their second dragon of the game. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do as Coxie moves forward. Does have the explosive cast, going to drop it right onto Darth Crow. He does not yet have his Zonias. He will die to the play. Coxie just using Predator along with the explosive cast is going to be able to get the APC down. And now they're going to drop the Rift Herald in a 2v3 situation. Death Sentence going to land onto Hedgemon into the Flay to get even more damage, but it'll just be the inner tower falling, which they will be able to get. Eventually down. Yes, Ruby will be able to pick that one up. But the inner tower will fall. That increases the range that Team Ambition Gambit has to be able to play some deep vision, especially here in the over near the Baron pit with Baron up. Dragon spawning at about 3 minutes. Going to make it a little bit harder for for Ruby to be able to keep their jungle camps and just their area well guarded. And we're going to see that kind of happen now with all auto turrets gone. Hedgemon's going to be the next target. He does not have flash. Going to be a little bit of damage. Rux does not use the blast cone, but will use flash to pick up the kill against Hedgemon. Nice play. Last breath. Trying to be able to get something here. Part of me, that is fate sealed. Trying to get whatever he can. Unfortunately, will not pick up anything out of that play. Summoner spells are now down for the Jinx, but it's 2 kills for nothing in favor of Team Ambition Gambit. Camille does have teleport, can use it if he needs to, if they want to defend this inner tower, but they're just going to let it go. They're going to seed it. I don't know if that's the correct play. I mean, you're really in a tough position because they don't have the numbers to fight, but now they do. They really need to defend this inhibitor tower, but they're going to be able to get a lot of damage onto it. They're going to be able to drop it, and they're going to get a good team fight. Team Ambition Gambit picking up the kill on to Hold My Poodle after the Solar Flare was dropped. Hedgemon will fall. That is 2 kills. Looking for the third. Darth Crow is in trouble and will get hit by the rockets. The resets are coming through from Rux. That's a double kill for Carried by Jungler. Now 6-0-4. 4 members of Ruby's squad down. Inhibitor's going to fall in the bot lane, and they are now in prime position to finish the job, potentially even take Baron and end this game quickly. I mean, that is a big play that they're able to pick up. They pick up the inner tower, the inner tower, the inhibitor tower, and the inhibitor because of the play that they were able to get against Hedgemon and the Trundle in the jungle around right here. So not only do they pick up the kills, but they pick up so much tempo in the game as well, because now you have to worry about those super minions spawning. And so somebody like Bob Diff, who would be potentially relegated to a side lane to push out that wave so that then Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby has the position to go in for a potential play at Baron or potentially get another dragon to go for Soul Point, is now really not going to be effective or really like advisable, because they've got to take care of those super minions. And they're going to be continuing to pour in, so you're going to have priority in bot lane for a long time for Team Ambition Gambit. But you know that Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby, they want to keep up the pressure in the Dragon Pit. They want to be able to get the Soul Point, and it looks like they are going to try to fight for it. However, Team Ambition Gambit, they know they hold all the cards here. They're going to go straight over to Baron, and they're going to trade Ocean Drake for Baron Nashor. Not even contested. That is a huge play for Team Ambition Gambit. Seeding Baron Nashor Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby it's not what I would advise, but you really don't have, I don't know much of an option. I mean, you are behind by 8,000 gold. You take what you can get, but you give up so much on the Rift. You give up this inner tower in the top lane. You give up Baron. You give up potentially the game here if Team Ambition Gambit is just able to finish the job, finish the snowball with this Baron, with this push. They're not even resetting. They're just saying, hey, we've got the numbers, we've got the advantage, we've got the play, and let's see what they're going to be able to do here. Yone on duty in the base, being able to stop the super minions from getting the Nexus turrets down. Caxi still has the explosive cask along with Predator boots still active, and they're going to try to make something happen. A lot of damage onto Darth Crow as he gets hit by the Everfrost and the Glacial Storm. The play from Hold My Pool doesn't necessarily get much. The Solar Flare doesn't land onto the carries. So that is one big initiation tool no longer available. Hedgemon not going to get the Ice Pillar that he wants. And the rest of Team Ambition Gambit just going to wail onto the inhibitor. They sure will get it. Now you've got inhibitors spawning on both side lanes. A good inhibitor, or a good position. Potentially go for the last inhibitor turret with the wave coming up here in the mid lane. And Team Ambition Gambit could potentially go for it. They're going to push the lane forward, but they are going to reset before they try to finish the job. So, I mean, I think that this game is pretty over. Ruby's going to have to, play a miracle here if they want to be able to make it happen. Try to play for this soul that's spawning in 3 minutes. But with a minute remaining until Baron is done with and 2 inhibitors down, Team Ambition Gambit, they know they can just go right into mid lane, and somebody's going to have to answer the side lanes, and so they're going to have the pressure to finish this game and give themselves this victory. I really think that this is about the turning point here that gave Team Ambition Gambit the win. Now, obviously, I know who wins these games because they were already completed. I just don't know how they happen. So I'm excited to see, this final push here from Team Ambition Gambit. How are they going to be able to finish this game out? I've been saying finish the job a lot this cast. I've been trying to focus on not saying the same phrases the entirety of the cast, but now we're going to get the play. The finishing touches of this one. Fate Seal is going to get used. Rux is in trouble and will get shut down. Vanguard's Edge is coming in. Yowie with a lot of damage from that Gore Drinker will be able to pick up a kill onto Hold My Poodle, but it's now up to Carry by Jungler and Caxi to try to be able to get the kills. They cannot. Caxi, the last member of Team Ambition Gambit to come in, try to survive. Will use Flash to get away from Bob Diff, but that was a stellar defense from Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby. They keep this game alive. They get the inhibitor respawned in the bot lane, and they have another opportunity to defend here and keep this game going. Really, really solid initiation from Hold My Pool. A beautiful Solar Flare is going to give a little bit of a reprieve against the pushing power that Team Ambition Gambit currently has. And they are now, primed to maybe go for a play here at this dragon. They will still have to deal with the inhibitor down in the top lane. But hey, it's something. It's a delay. And that's the promise that I want to see out of these teams, is that they have these opportunities to bring games back. Anything can happen here at the Aegis Guardians League, and we're seeing some of that happen right now. The potential of this Crystal Cave Gaming Ruby squad, really, really cool. All right, 53 seconds until the Ocean Drake spawns. Now remember, Ruby is looking to be able to pick up this Drake so that they're able to get Ocean Soul. So they are going to try to fight for it. They did push out the mid wave enough so that they have a little bit of time. But if they misplay this one, it is game over. If they misplay it, if they lose out in this play, they won't be able to stop the pushing super minions in the top lane. There are 2 super minions just pushing forward. Yowie and Carried by Jungler could potentially just go up there, use their teleports, and finish the game if they survive this team fight. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. A lot of damage from the Glacial Storm, but the initiation onto Rux is good. A lot of damage onto the Jinx, but they couldn't finish her. Will survive. Yowie is just going to clean up the fight, and it's going to be 2 kills for Carried by Jungler, 1 for Rux, 1 for Yowie. And that is going to do it. They almost had the kill onto the Jinx. Had they killed Jinx, had they killed Rux, they might have been able to keep this game alive. But unfortunately, the Jinx survives long enough to put so much damage in, really whittled down the front line, and then Yowie was able to go in and finish the job. Congratulations to Team or Team Ambition Gambit, they are able to win this game, and they're able to get themselves the first series win in the Aegis Guardians League. Week 1 going 1-0 so far. Really, really good stuff from them. But that's going to do it today for this broadcast. We're going to be back again for every Friday, Aegis Guardians League. Check us out. It's so much fun. It's going to be a really fun week 2. And let's go ahead and sign off here. My name is Moose. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.